So now things should really start to make sense. For Narcissus is about to walk right out of the dusty bin of the ancient past into the heart of your understanding. And guess what? Along with him comes a friend none of us have really ever met, Echo. So I'm really excited at this moment to read to you the following. When infants are born and in a state of pre-language, and without the ability to coordinate arm, hand, leg, and foot movement, the eyes are given special focus abilities, especially within 1 foot in terms of measurement. This visual 1 foot ability ensures survival on 2 levels. The first is physical, to find the breast, the source of food. The second is emotional. The language of the eyes of the mother is just as all important as is the breast that supplies essential physical nourishment. The eyes provide life, nourishment for the new soul as well. The relating that goes on between the eyes of the mother and infant cannot be overstated. It is not that the father is less important. He is very important as well. But here we focus on the archetypal parent. What the eyes of the mother reflect back to the completely vulnerable and dependent infant allows the infant to assess on neurological levels if his environment supports his existence. Please keep in mind the original story of Echo and Narcissus. There is a second level of parasympathetic interaction that goes back and forth along with the eyes that is pre-language, which is voice sounds. The infant has to make sounds when the eyes are not available to help ensure that hunger is understood, or tiredness, or sickness, or any other crucial needs that can be perceived as life or death if they are not heard and responded to. In the event that the eyes of the mirroring mother are turned, averted, or otherwise focused elsewhere, these interactions, which continue well into early childhood development, are called mirroring, and you guessed it, echoing. The crucial time during this developmental stage, during infancy and early childhood, is called the dependency bridge. The infant and young child must be reassured at all times that its survival is reinforced by its life givers, the mother and the father. This eye, voice, song relationship is the crucial foundation that the healthy physical and emotional foundation for all future life is built on. When the infant child is voicing pain in the eyes of its sounds, it has to see and hear a responsive empathy, which implies an understanding and comprehension of the pain, in order for healthy growth and development to occur. When the child needs to express love and affection, it needs to see that related to, in the same way, for the same reasons, mirroring and echoing. During this period of the dependency bridge are the physical, neurological, physiological, emotional, mental, psychological, and spiritual basis of healthy human life. There is a deeper involvement to mirroring and echoing called entrainment. The eyes and voice entrain or lock and sync with the parent in mutual dance of receiving and giving. This delicate and crucial process cannot be understated for the young seed to become the mighty oak. If this process is damaged, polluted, interrupted, or denied altogether, the future oak will have crooked roots and never a strong trunk. It will not be able to withstand any storm in later life or any stress. The infancy of all mammalian life is instinctual. When instincts have been disrupted, the life of the individual cannot rely properly on his or her instincts. In any future, one feeling or experiencing threat, the dependency bridge has been damaged, broken, and not crossed. Perception is now viewed through the physiological lens as threat and self-defense. The impulses responding to the perceived unsafe environment now dominate, and perception becomes and remains in a permanently skewed state, resulting in permanently impaired responses. The more that mirroring and echoing are hindered from any healthy process, the more that the infant and small child develops exaggerated demands out of instinctual drive to live. The more those exaggerated demands are not met with proper response, the more the unbalanced responses to the environment ensue. To be isolated in any way physically and emotionally will cripple the mirroring and echoing process and the infant child's instincts. Isolation can be akin to threat of death. As the individual grows, falling down in life becomes literal. Neediness and weakness disable the individual, and interactions with others are now infected by disempowering messages. The actions of stuck unconscious and unresolved fear are now the core of inner and outer relating, as the individual is now moved into an unnatural state of chronic compensatory dependency. As the dependency needs were not met when they were needed, disordered neediness results. It is no paradox that chronic control messages are sent to the environment, for it was the environment that gave rise to the ground of disempowering experience, and so the environment must be controlled. This disordered neediness is termed dependency disorder. The unfolding of natural independence cannot be achieved for the individual who has been deprived of dependency needs being met during that crucial window of development. Obviously, an infant, small child that has not had his or her dependency needs met and never has had therapeutic resolution into adulthood cannot then pass on the healthy, proper mirroring and echoing needs to the next generation. Only instinctually damaged messaging will be sent and received to the offspring of those still in dependency disorder themselves. If there are enough damaged oaks, the entire forest is in threat of extinction. If there are not enough people attending to the dependency disorder in the human family and dealing with therapeutic resolution, we end up a species threatening our own survival. As well, within the life of this dependency damaged individual, proper and balanced relationships cannot occur. The result of the dependency disordered individual is a bifurcated personality disorder fluctuating between over-attending to others and under-attending to others. Dependency disorder is the original disorder of all disorders and is also known as codependency. It is the double-faced coin, always slated in hardened dance of either or, but unable to separate from the coin itself. In other words, the two faces of the one coin is the same sickness of the self, forever alternating between two general strains of symptoms that equally originate from the same bind. The main point to understand, however, is that the in codependency infers dependence with the other in an unnatural state, a weakened state. Independence infers that which is in a strengthened state and free of unnatural or exaggerated need from the other. Dependency disorder does not occur if the dependency needs of the infant child have been properly met. When infantile needs have not been provided for properly, the individual gets stuck in a skewed and unnatural state of permanent demand unconsciously from all external sources. Its perceptions and responses are often viewed by external individuals as infantile. As with early childhood development, the state of skewed perception and response becomes more deeply embedded if the unnatural dynamic continues in later development. This becomes dependency, very much expressing disorder. Dependency disorder is anathema to independence, that which is the expression of the individual who has not been in a state of deprivation and whose biological and emotional needs have been properly met and fulfilled. The mirror and the echo that come from wholeness lead to an individual who can mirror and echo in relationships in life. The mirror and the echo that have been deprived and prevented growth to wholeness lead to a broken mirror and a deaf or deafening echo. When the metaphoric mirror is broken, we see a person that cannot stop searching in literal mirrors for that which was never there, and the emptiness that stares back compels the beholder obsessively to intensify the insatiable search. It is no different with the histrionic and narcissistic verbal calls that it thinks are to others, but in tragic reality are hollers and howls to the self, reassuring itself there is someone there to hear that which was never heard. We all too well know that empathy to others is limited, if not impossible, but as a society, we fail to see that empathy to the self is what is lost in the shattered shards and in the screams of silence.